guys, I'm here today with one of the best managers of all time, Terry Collins. So let's get into the interview. So at Globe Life, I think like 2017, you told DeGrom something that changed his career forever, and then you went on to win back-to-back Cy Youngs. What did you tell him that made him such an amazing pitcher?
Well, the game can be humbling at times, and every player that's ever played the game is going to be stopped. I mean, there's going to be a time when it doesn't go well, and that was Jacob's had the worst start of his career so far, and I just
like 8 runs.
Right, and I just said, hey, it's going to happen, and in order to get better, you got to forget about it, let it go. If you want to go study your video after the game to see maybe you can pick up something mechanically you were doing wrong, but you got to drop it and got to be ready for your next start. And in 4 days, you got to go out and pitch again. And don't ever forget that everybody has gone through this, not just yourself. So don't get down, because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen another time to you.
So what did the 2015 team do that was so amazing that made them to get to that stage? What do you think the 2023 team could do to get to that stage, and what do you think the 2022 team could have done to get to that stage?
Well, in every season, over 162 games, you're going to have a bad stretch. Last summer, this past year in 2023, the Mets didn't have a bad stretch until September, the worst time you can have it, because that's when the real good teams step forward.
They had like a 10-game lead.
I know, early in the season, but as they pecked away, as the Braves all of a sudden picked up, the Braves had a terrible start.
Yeah.
So and the Mets had a great start.
I wasn't there.
And so in 2015, when we added Cespedes and we added Uribe and Kelly Johnson and Addison Reed and Tyler Clippard, all of a sudden our guys had the confidence that it was going to take to finish it off. And so and we won some huge games against the Nationals that put us in first place. And
they had Harper.
And I mean they had good teams, but we swept them in Citi Field, and then 4 days later we swept them in Washington, and our guys didn't think they could lose. They just had that confidence about them, and they went out and executed.
What do you think Buck is doing that relates so much to what you did when you managed the Mets?
Well, the one thing about players, the players, when they come to the ballpark, they want to know everybody's ready, okay? And the one thing, Buck is always prepared. There's nothing he misses. And so, as you know, he's very, very astute when it comes to the rules. Everything's prepared. Everything's in place. When you walk in that ballpark, all you have to do is get yourself ready to play baseball. And I think Buck, he does a great job of getting his guys ready. I thought this past year he kept his bullpen fresh as he could. And that's why Diaz had such a great season that he had, and I think that's one of the things Buck excels at is the use of his bullpen. And when you've got great starting pitching, that bullpen, it's pretty easy to run the bullpens.
So you have a lot of experience at DeGrom. Do you think he's going to come back? Do you think he wants to come back? What do you think?
Well, I think certainly Jake wants to come back, but as we all know, this is a business. It's, even though I look at it as a game, it's still a business. And so I think in order to get Jake back, you're going to have to step up and, maybe give him 3 years. And I know he's had 2 tough years in a row with injuries, but at the end of the season, looks like he is healthy. So it's going to take a 3-year deal, and I don't know how much, $42, $43 million a year, something like that.
As much as it takes.
Yeah. I mean, you just try to get it. You cannot have enough pitching. And you can't let star pitchers, guys who are really who are Mets.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to, for me, you got to say, look, we want you, Jake. You've been a Met. We want you to finish your career as a Met, and we have to step up and pay him.
Who do you think's a better trend, the Edwin Diaz trumpets or the Yoenis Cespedes neon bird and the neon arms?
Well, I will tell you, both of them has a place. When Edwin Diaz hears the trumpets, he's fired up. He gets fired up. When Yoenis Cespedes walks out there, and he had a big song, the Yellow Bird, and he had his yellow sleeves he got excited because the fans loved it when he got up to bat. And so I think players respond to that. They respond to whatever they have to do in any certain situation. But in New York, those fans get you going.
Oh, yeah.